Yeah, he's topped off what's been a really bad week for everyone, hasn't it? Yeah, really disappointing. Lots of things disappointed about. The way we went in 3-0 down. We thought it'd be an open game. We tried to make it an open game and try and exploit the space behind Newcastle's midfield, and we did that, but couldn't capitalise with a goal. But we're 3-0 down, a throw in. Whether we switched off because we thought the ball went, I don't know, but you played to the whistle. A throw in, a corner, and a wide free kick, and we're 3-0 down. Yeah, so we know the game's tough. And then the second half, we were out-competed. We were out-competed in the second half.
What was the problem in the second half? Because it just seemed passive at times, like it was almost too easy for Newcastle.
Yeah, it was too easy. It was too easy. Listen, when you're chasing a game, it's tough, it's difficult against top opposition because they can change their approach. They were more confident and composed playing. They don't have to take risks. And then when we jump to press, they play through us, and then that scares us to go and play, to go and press. Yeah, but listen, it's something we have to learn from. This result doesn't dictate the season. You prepare from, you see them over and over again, whether it was when Bournemouth had it and then they put things right, finish strong in the season, stay up, whether it was Southampton. Every season this type of thing happens, but it's only a benefit if we learn from it. And that's the thing. The boys who know what we're about, the boys who know what I'm saying to them, step up. The new boys, it's an eye-opener. You know, it's a tough league that you're stepping into, and you've got to be able to compete against some of the best players. We know that teams aren't going to feel sorry for us. They're just going to keep bringing on top players like they did today. Yeah, so we know that we can do it. We should have had more points. I get that, but we haven't, and we haven't for a reason. But we have to make sure that we understand what we're about.
How concerning is the manner of the goals, though? Perhaps more so the earlier goals than the ones, when the game's gone in the second half.
Is the restarts. Our organisation is good. Everything's been built on that, and it's a reminder to everyone of why we bang on about it, why we do. Because I think it's an area where you can almost level the playing field a little bit, and if we are better than the others, we can bridge that gap. We know Newcastle are one of the best set play teams. We get that. We work on it, and they've exposed us today. And then it just made the game easy for them.
Defensively, how do you sort of build from this now? Do you have to sort of consider whether it's personnel changes? Is it doing anything differently? Is it just learning lessons? What do you do now?
It's a bit of everything. We've got the personnel we've got. We're not changing that. We know we're missing players. We've got senior players out because certainly we need to make sure that we pick character and we pick people who are going to compete. If we've only got 15 of those, there's only 15 involved. That's the big thing, and there has to be an understanding that that's what it takes. Not just passing the ball, not just looking pretty. It's about competing, and we didn't do it today. And that's the bit that we have to make sure that we learn from.
You're surprised by that because this is a team that has shown so many times, hasn't it, that it can be competitive if nothing else.
It's the first time, and did I expect? Not at all. Training's been good. There's been an energy, a real fizz about what we've been doing. Real fizz. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's caught everyone out. But it's a reminder. It's one thing that, like I said, to the players first and then the staff in there. We have to make sure that we learn from this.
A lot of people at half-time were very frustrated about what happened in the build-up to the goals. Have you got any issues with officiating decisions?
I'm not seeing about it. That's the least of me. That's the least of me thing. Worries. It's not. I've not seen it, so I don't know. I get there was a frustration. We're going to have that. It is refereed a little bit differently in the Premier League to Champions. We get that, but we have to focus on what we can control, which is taking our chance at one end and getting the organisation better when it's a set play. If we'd have been going in at 0-0 or having to take one of our chances in the game, then it's a different story. To going 3-0 down is so frustrating with the nature of the goals.
I just wonder though whether because it was, the fans were getting on the officials' back, it became a different kind of a game when that was happening. Did it rattle your players maybe?
Yeah, it can do. And listen, if you don't have a goal, we made changes to get an extra body in midfield, lose one at the back. And it was Jaden. It's harsh on Jaden, but we needed the height still because of their set plays. We didn't have that on the bench. Yeah, but we didn't then compete. The change didn't work. Simple as that. But like I said, the bits that we have to make sure we understand is we can't see their players running past ours. We just can't see it.
Is it tough to watch as a manager, especially later on when
It's tough
it,
when
it
the
became
game's
almost
gone.
like a training session in the end, didn't it?
It's tough when the game's gone, but that's why we have to make sure it doesn't happen again.
And what have you said to them? I mean, is there much a manager can say immediately after a game like that?
Yeah, there's a lot because it's really clear. We have to make sure we learn from it. I think it'd be better done tomorrow. You get the video and make sure there's no excuses. Like I said, there's been a big change around here, big change around. But we know what we built everything on. We know what we did to change things. We know what we did to become successful. We know what we did to get promoted, and that can't change because that's the only thing that's going to help us in this league. So we have to make sure that everyone's clear on that.
Is this a big test for you now? Because when you've come so close to beating Spurs and you lose, that's one thing, isn't it? But when you have an 8-0, that's a totally different challenge, isn't it?
It is, but we prepare like as a group, as a team, staff. It's us that give the message to the players. We prepare for it. We prepare for it. Like I say, it happens all the time in this league. We understand that. So we prepare for putting it right. We prepare for our best performance not being good enough and getting beat, and that's tough to take as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things in this league that we have to make sure that we're ready for, because it's a different type of challenge to what we've had before.
It has been a very emotional week. When you have a result like this off the back of an emotional week, does it make it difficult, to sort of get everybody's, to get everybody through it, I suppose?
Listen, there's more important things in football. We all know that. We wanted to do our little bit today to put a smile on people's faces at the club. There were tears on the pitch before the game. It's been a horrendous week, and on the pitch, off the pitch now. We have to make sure we draw a line on it. We have to refocus ourselves on our job, whilst we're helping each other, supporting all Maddie's friends, and obviously sending our best to the family, but supporting all Maddie's friends who are here, who are coming into work. We have to make sure that, at the same time we focus on our next challenge, because the world won't stop for us. No one's going to feel sorry for us. Newcastle aren't going to feel sorry for us. West Ham's not going to feel sorry for us. So we have to make sure, like I said, that we focus.
Cheers, Paul.